And we are streaming. So, a game is already in progress, as we can see here. I will actually just copy that in a moment. Copy. And I will quickly go and grab a look at this. Unfortunately, it won't be playing at the moment. Yeah, Marigin sees how it is. Ramagen sees how it is. That's definitely something I've done. Oh, he definitely sees how it is. Well, I have the other game up at the moment. I've got it in a separate window, so I'll have to do some adjustments. Oh, god damn it. That's annoying. We'll get this to line up properly in a moment. Okay, that'll do. So, welcome back to Mahjong. We are doing stuff, things, and Wibble. And if I just go and quickly move myself onto there, we see we've got two people currently waiting in the room. So, for the moment, I guess we're going to continue watching this game. So, as an added thing here, hello, Draconis. I do, however, require 2 results in order to actually update this table properly. So, if we look at the score tracker, the 2 games that I'm missing are from... This thing's getting very, very wide now. So the 2 placeholders I've got are the games that were played on the 23rd. First game between Draconis, Viking, Saint, and Chiral on the 23rd of June. If Draconis can let me know what that is, awesome. The second game was between Debbie, Urza, Smody, and Yong, which I do have a sort of result for, but that was a different game. So I need those 2 results, and then I can actually update the table properly. In the meantime, just going to make sure the actual game isn't going to start over here randomly without me noticing. Complaints that I am late are treason, citizen, and I will not stand for them any longer. So yeah, I do need those 2 games. I can grab some results from various people who were in them. But in the meantime, we're just waiting on the JPC, Kung Pao, JPB, and Jesper game. And yes, eventually there will be a second table. So, how are we all doing? Once that's done, I'll be able to actually throw the tracker up and actually record what the actual results are. The game was on the 23rd, so if you actually can go back that far, that'd be awesome. It was basically 3 weeks ago. As I say, it was between you, Viking, Saint, and Chiral. I was observing the game, but I never actually recorded the end of it, or if I... Actually, I might... Hold on. Sudden flash of inspiration. Maybe I actually put a text file up. Nope, that is not it. Match Night 17.6. Nope, that's definitely not it. See, I did record some things, but apparently I didn't put them there. Oh well. By the way, those are the 2 games I'm kind of need from people. I mean, you can find them from the history thing. And in the meantime, the other game has started, so we'll see how we are 5 minutes ago. So, JPC. Yes, but as we already established, that's Croatian, Zhong, sir. If you have the result, I'd appreciate it, sir. I've had 2/3 and 2/4 in my last couple of events, so... Well, hold on. Where are we? Oh, yeah. This thing. This thing is amazing. Thank you very much. I'll just go and record that. In the old spreadsheet. So that was Viking minus 17. Draconis minus 42. Minus 17. Saint plus 52. And Chiral plus 7. Okay, so I just then need the other results, which I don't think Viking was in. So I'll need it from either Urza, Debbie, or Yong if you've got it. So in the meantime, I should probably start thinking about commentating on the other game. And if we're missing one, then that second game will be happening fairly soon. Yeah, this is why I have things in the sort of tabs rather than their own separate windows, because it means it's much easier to swap between the two things. Okay, the other game is started up, so let's go mute this. Minimize that, and we'll get back to that in a little bit. So, Draconis, Yong, Kesh, and myself in a battle for me to avoid my run of poor finishes. So, what are my last 4 results? We've gone minus 14, minus 22, minus 33, minus 39 in my last few results. This is a good starting hand, though. So, let's see. No worries, Martian. Catch you in a little bit. As he goes fridge raiding. Did. Yeah, no worries. If you can, and once we identify the opponents, it should be easy enough to find that last result. Also, hello, Fancy Pants. So, starting south. Yes, indeed, sir. Well, you'll catch one eventually. Let's get rid of the ones for the moment. Move ourselves a little closer towards the Tanyo. I have about 5 people looking at my game at the moment. It's just quite amazing. An Anonymous Monkey, Nyan Cat, Anteater, and Iguana. Okay, that's not bad. So I've got a possible Pinfu Ipeko. Unfortunately, I've given Draconis exactly what he wants for triplets. Okay, Pinfu. 1 from Tenpai. So draw the 5, being a 2-sided Tenpai. Draw. Okay, he just self-wins. So he is north. So north to Redora. And Iron Dealer. Oh, that is a huge start. Yeah. So I've got Freedora in my opening hand. I mean, the rest of the hand isn't that great, but Freedora in the opening hand is always nice. Okay, get rid of a 9-dot for the moment. At the very least, knowing Rovadora R does help me a lot. It means I can plus around other things. White Dragon, 2 of them have been played now, so we'll get rid of ours. Okay, 1-2-3 has been established, so I've got a 1-2-3 Sandshrew potentially, with the pair of 2s as a kicker. Okay. As much as I like the Sandshrew idea, I think we'll ignore it for the moment and just see if we can get a complete hand. So 7 would be an okay draw, Bronx 7. Ultimately, this doesn't look too likely, though. It's a bit heavy. So call the 5s after 2 middle 5 discards. Probably looking at half flush, but okay, Hatsu's been played. So what's my bet? I mean, obviously, if I get the 3-dot, that opens up a lot of options for me. If I draw a 7 here, then I can possibly lean myself a little closer into things. Sancho Kodoko? Probably not. Arguably, I could have called that, but you're not being calm by calling 2 triplets at the moment, sir. That's all I shall say. So, Toy Toy. Way to break a Toy Toy is to discard what's already on the table. I realised it was a reach, and the 3 is not necessarily a safe tile, but I offered second one of those. If I was waiting on it, it would be a dead weight. So, Toy Toy, Dora 1. Yeah, with Toy Toy hand, you could argue with can't, but yeah, I mean, I had Freedora, which would be very nice, but you want to call Freedora because that gives you the momentum rather than having it. Though, if the hand was a bit better, more developed, or I had the easy Yaku, Then maybe I could have developed from that, but beyond, we're just going to have to sit in last place for the moment. Okay, 1 dot. Okay, get rid of the free man. Arguably not the best of moves, but we still have a potential Sanch Q on. And the free's still technically isolated, but I should probably be getting rid of my dragons here. Okay, not a bad draw. 1 north has been played, so we'll abandon the north for the moment. So am I a pair draw away from Tempai? If I can get another 5 dot, maybe. Well, possibly.
Each.
Okay, Dracon is reaching from 2nd place with the red 5. Which means I've discarded 2 of my potential winners there, and my red dragon is now kind of dead in my hand, unless I get lucky. Got another safe discard if I want it, though.
Chi.
Okay, 3rd west. I mean, the way I'm going, effective Tempai is the red dragon only. Okay. One that passes. We're 1 away from Tempai then. Oh, okay. Cash Mace plays the risky tile. Do I just goal this? Go for Tempai? No. We play this legit for the moment. A dot is so risky against that board.
Each.
Okay, late reach.
Long.
Unfortunately, he deals in with it. So, reach south Dora. No Uradura. And no, because the reaching caused him to deal in. Anyway. Let's see what we can do here. If I'm lucky enough with a couple of good pair draws. Okay. I mean, this has the legs to possibly go for Honitsu. So if I can draw one of the white or green dragons again, that would be pretty much confirming it. Or at least confirming that I want to try it. Mind you, though, I can't ignore the fact this is a Dora, so I can go West Dora something. I mean, 3rd place, though. The gap isn't insurmountable by any means, but we need to be cautious. Alright, let's get rid of dragon now. Okay, nothing yet. Somebody passed the dragon. I imagine that means Draconis has got a pair of them, but isn't anywhere near a completed hand yet.
1
Alright, I can play my knight for the moment and find out. Oh, we'll watch Kesh risk a green dragon off the bat, so huzzah. Got another one set up, and I'm one away from 7 pairs Tempai with 2 Dora. $6 is a CG.
1
Cash reaching from last place is definitely not a problem. The problem with reaching from second or first is that you're just risking losing a lot of points. Fortunately, I don't have anything that will definitely pass him. 4's a CG, but it's also Dora. Okay. Didn't want to have to do that, but we can't win it on this hand, but we can probably lose it with this. I mean, true, it would have been Hanneman. It would have been a great hand, but I'm okay with folding this. No, you don't have sound on because you reach. You turn that off right now. Because there are still decisions to be made, and I don't want any judgment on anybody at that point. So you turn that off right now. One White Dragon's been played against 2 reaches, though. Not a lot of safe tiles anywhere. We'll be 8 and 5 for later, actually, so. Okay, I've got tons of safe tiles, actually, come to that.
Sumo.
Nice, a Hanneman. Hanneman, Ipeco, 2 Dora. That's a very good hand. That should hopefully secure the win for you, actually, if you play that well. Meanwhile, let's see what I can do. To be fair, this is the best hand I've had all night, so let's see what we can do with it. So I'm looking at pin through 1 Dora, perhaps. Can it get better than that? Not easily. Especially when it's getting tiles like that, they're just leaning into. So.
Home.
Okay, he goes aggressive. It's his prerogative. My discards are looking a little silly.
Home.
Joy. It's probably Torture on the left. What he is doing is he's pushing in the lead, which is not a good idea usually. Because people tend to be sneaky against you. I guess we cut this on the basis that we want to keep the Dora.
Sumo.
Oh, the Granish just manages to Sumo. So 1,000 points. Kills my best hand of the night. Makes me dealer. And I'm okay with that move. I mean, in fairness, the stealth weight is always a good one to have. Because people don't expect it, and things happen. It's also why you don't push, because people tend to do those against you when you're pushing.
ポン
Okay, so Draconis is going to push now. He is in second, has a lot of gap to make up. He is last dealer, so he wants to get there quickly. Though, I've got decisions to make here. I really want to keep the Dora, but I know this is the better way to go. I'm dealer, so I need to go for quick... For God's sake. Immediate backfire. I even attempted to discard the free first. Alright, it sort of feels like I'm on tilt after 3 discards with a great hand. This is a good hand. I can call with a lot of this hand as well, so let's see what happens. Just don't go nuts. Get the hand finished. Problem is, Draconis could be on anything right now. Probably Toy, but again, he could be on anything. 1 doesn't help me. South doesn't help me. Thing is, I think I have to call the 3s if they come up as well. No, I doubt they would. If I can get this hand without the need for Open Tanyo, that's the best way to do it, but... Jeez. Trying to work out what the best call is here. Well, we're out of thinking time. Okay, get ourselves to Tenpai now. The only real objective here.
Pom.
Tenpai. Discarding Dora. I don't like that either, actually, but, you know. Means I have a stealth weight. Means that unless things go ridiculously wrong, I am Tenpai at least, so... Draconis, they could genuinely be waiting on anything. Probably no my luck, he's on the 6, though. Or is he folding against me? He might be folding against me there. Okay, for a 10. Can't do much with that. It's a bluff, but I desperately needed the points.
Wrong.
Yeah, well. Yeah, that's a sign my game's going downhill. Alright, let's see what we can do recovery. So I need a reasonably big hand to come back from this. This has the potential to be it. Okay, so White Dragon's safe. I mean, Tanyo Shanshikyu is probably my best bet here. Now I've drawn that especially. Pair of 5s. I guess that allows me to keep Vidora, but I have a pair of 5s anyway. Alright, maybe I'll just go Tanyo. Some Tanyo nonsense. Maybe I can get a Pinfu into this as well.
Each.
Yeah, reaching for the lead, not a good idea.
Each.
Because that happens. Bad idea. Man's big. In fact, if it's a Mungan, he's in trouble. No, it's...
Long.
It's not actually anywhere near Baiman, but it is Mungan. And suddenly, he's now out of that, and suddenly... And you didn't need it. Also, I should really discuss something better than that. But anyway.
Chi.
Fine. I mean, you might still win out of this, but that's ultimately Mahjong 101. If you have the lead, you do not give it away that needlessly. In the meantime, yeah, we do need a Mungan to come back, which is a little tricky from this hand, but not impossible. Also means that if he deals into Akesh's Mungan, for example, I drop to second, so... Okay. How do we get a Mungan out of this? Reach, Pinfu... Chanter. I'm struggling with this one. Hitting Mungan from here is going to be awkward. See, if I'd have kept both Norths, maybe even both 9s, done some proper trades out.
Each.
Yeah, give me 1,000 points. Why not? Do I just force a Chanter here? Wouldn't give me anything, so it's fine.
Chi.
And we give the Sand Q to Kesh. He doesn't need much to actually just force the win out of this, so... 5 is a Suji. Not necessarily that means anything at this point, but still. Given a safe tile to Kesh at least. Interesting. Let's gamble it. Okay, so that passed. Now we have the Chanter on. If I draw the 8 dots practically there, I can call any of those and get to close. Alright, we'll toss another 4 since we know that passed the first time. I mean, we have a route. It's not a good one, though. Reach Chanter Sumo would be enough to win.
Wrong.
And there we go. This is why you do not reach. Do not reach from the lead. Yeah, GG. Okay, make sure the points will go up, and we're now just going to quickly, before that continues, just check how the other game's going. There's still an East 4, apparently, unless I've got a lot to catch up on. So I'll leave that going in the background and get into another game, I suppose. In fact, there are 2 games going on, so I'm just now going to have to queue up and wait. Yeah, it was well played. That was unlikely. So a lot of games currently going on, which is, yeah, bizarre. Is this the game I was just in, or is this just... I assume that's the newest one. Let's find out, shall we? So that's the JPC game. That is, I assume, the game that's just started up. It is. So Chiral, Viking, Draconis, and you, and I will wait until the next game starts up. Meanwhile, I'm going to turn the sound effects back on for this and hope. I assume this is just going to speed on. And we'll go and watch this game for a little bit and just until our thing comes up. Either that or I'll just continue looking at my commander deck.
Home.
Yeah, it's definitely going far too quick.
Chi. Chi.
Oh, lots of aggressive stuff going on in this one.
Each.
And in Mahjong, never assume anybody's going to toss you anything. Is a general rule to follow. If your hand requires somebody to deal something for you, it's unlikely to happen. This is going almost too fast for me to comment on. How's Debbie doing? Debbie is circling the drain in that position at the moment, but has a reasonable 10-yo building up. 1 away. Oh, I should have kept that. You could just toss... Actually, they're pairs, aren't they?
Home.
It's not mind reading if it's obvious. On to 3rd dealer repeat for this one. Debbie did get some extra points back at least, so 84. 2 Souths in the South round. Double South round, actually, so not bad. JPC getting rid of his North pair for some reason, and immediately regretting it.
Home.
So South Dragon, that's a very... This is an attack hand. So she's got multiple pairs up. So she could even go for a Toy Toy double bonus tile here if she gets lucky. Yeah, she's going for Toy Toy double dragon. Gives up the sequence twice.
1
Plays a red 5 immediately after reach against that hand. JPC, come on, Rise. Okay, so Debbie's breaking up tiles because she knows they're safe. 6 probably safer than 9 in balance. 2 has been played. She's actually playing really well defensively. I'm impressed. Obviously, there's high speed, so pinch of salt with everything here. We're actually waiting on a free 6. I think Debbie's going to accidentally deal into this. Unless I'm mistaken there. No, actually, that would happen the other way around. Well, this is high-speed gaming at the moment, so Debbie's now dealer. South 2. Had a really good hand to call with, but didn't get any of the pairs or dragons that she wanted. It happens occasionally in games. Just have a quick check on where we are in terms of this. So 2 currently waiting. So a couple of Dora Dragons for Debbie. JPB goes on another reach. Fortunately deals in, and that puts Debbie down a few more positions. I haven't seen her playing too bad. I know I'm concentrating on Debbie, but that's because, of course, I'm biased in that opinion. Oh yeah, I finally caught up with the actual game state 5 minutes back. I think he's got about... Oh, I've got 8 people waiting, 2 and currently in games, so... And that's not playing, but that's going to be muted. So we'll keep that going on there. But yeah, as mentioned, somebody in that game needs to tell me what that result is, by the way. Otherwise, I'm going to have to discount it. And that was not something I want to do, but if I can't find out the result, I'm going to have to ignore it. So JPC going on the aggressive attack plan at the moment. Debbie could technically call this, but probably shouldn't. And doesn't. 7's not a bad draw here. Get rid of the dragons. Gets rid of a 9. Okay. She's got 4 pairs, so that's not a terrible move. It's a shame West isn't a bonus win, otherwise that would be a slam dunk go for the triplets. But of course, looking at what we know, dragons are a little awkward to get rid of here. North is her own win. At this point, I'd trace that for a dragon unless North's been played, which it has. So West. She could call it if she wants to go for triplets. Decides not to. Draws number 9. So I wonder if she's thinking 7 pairs here. She has 4. So JPC obviously going for a dragon toy hand. JPC up top. Oh, Debbie has given up her strategy looking at that. Six, 7, 8. Sanchku. Yeah, that's not bad. Get rid of the West here. If you've got rid of 1, you might as well keep going with that plan. The alternative is just go Tanyo and ignore those 2 dragons. She's not dealer, so she could do have a more valuable hand. Oh, that's a great draw. 8. Okay, that's not so bad, actually. She can still use that. Problem is, she's going to have to get rid of her dragons, and it's always risky to do that late game. Although, in this case, maybe not. So obviously she still needs to draw a 6, but if she draws that... Unfortunately, it's still open Sanchku, not really any value there, but yeah. So JPB not drawing well enough at the moment. Jesper... debating whether the 2's safe and decides it isn't this late in the game. Where a dragon gets played, where a dragon should follow. 2 for the moment. Doesn't get called, obviously. 1 so, 6 so here is potentially helpful. Gets rid of the 1. Gets rid of the 1. Oh, there we go. Draw the 6. Okay, drop the 8. And then hope to pair up a dragon. Admittedly, I think pairing up a dragon is impossible from board state. Where are the other reds? Oh, actually, there were red. Not enough reds you could pair a dragon. 1 less now. Oh, awesome. Okay, plays for dragon. She is Sanch-Q. 4/7. And possibly can't support. Problem is, 2 7s are gone. And JPC is going to Saki this one. What I mean by Saki is he didn't go for the open Khan there, which would have been suicidal anyway. But deciding to wait until he has the Tenpai draw. So if he draws the 5 or the 8, he will then go for the Saki. No, he goes for the Saki anyway. It didn't improve the value of the hand, unfortunately, for Debbie, but still. She's Tenpai, waiting on the 4/7, and it's not incidentally impossible. 1 4 left, and only 2 7s, as you can see. Just checking. Oh, what? That's the other game. We'll worry about that a little later. Okay, Tenpai. Debbie only, so gets another 3,000 points. The problem is, she's still in last place and still needs a hand in order to finish up above last. But no, she played that quite well. I mean, it's a cheap hand, but I can't argue with the way she's playing it. It's just unfortunately with this situation as it is, and I think this is next skill to kind of learn is board state and knowing when to try for bigger hands. Or when you have to force bigger hands, like in this situation, and how to go about it. I mean, there is always the reach, hope for Uridura strategy, but, you know. I'm not playing the game, so I'm not having Tenpais right now. I might have them later. So, how are we looking here? Debbie has 1 Dora, a couple of pairs, 3 pairs rather, and a potential close 2/4, which doesn't do a lot in this hand. Might still be worth keeping. As I read, throwing away a pair of Doras to reach and win is almost always a bad idea, considering you need a pair to actually, you know, win. Of course, I don't know what the circumstance is, so it just feels like you devalued your hand for not a lot of gain, but... But again, Mahjong is very situational, and there are definitely positions where you will discard a pair of Dora. It's just not normally on the rulebook of things to do.
Home.
Actually, I'm 5 minutes behind on whatever this is, but you know. There's still at least 1 actually, so. Means my game should be starting up soon though. This is South 4 after all, so... It means I'll actually have both games up, so I'll actually be able to go, you know, check. Well, that was clearly deserved then, Marigin. Well done.
G.
Not really much point in Debbie calling that. She's actually got a quite good hand the way she's gone at the moment. If she doesn't have a free... I mean, I guess she's got the Ipeco.
Each.
Ipeco Odway. That's not a bad draw. Or wouldn't have been a bad draw had she kept it. I mean, she was I mean, she technically is Tempai at the moment. Waiting on the 7. 7, though, is so unlikely to come up right now. Yeah, here, reach.
Each.
Reach for the 7. Sananko. 8, 9. Fortunately, both 8s, both 9s are in people's hands, so it's unlikely that's going to happen on that, but, you know. Yeah, unless they decide to play it safe for whatever reason, that is not a wait that's going to happen. But it was a reasonable go. If you self-drew it, obviously that would be Sananko as well, so I just don't see it happening.
Gong.
And in fact, dealer gets a win. And because of the way the game state is, game goes on. Well, that's potentially a good hand, actually. If you'd hit Uradur as well, that could easily have got to Hanneman, which would have gotten there out of fourth place at least. But definitely not playing it badly. This isn't the greatest of starting hands, but I suppose it can develop into stuff. I mean, if you can draw a pair of a bonus tiles at the back there. Or even just drawing additional triplets, actually. That could work. Get rid of the north or the south here. Probably south if you're worried. Get rid of a lane 3. It's a mistake I make a lot as well, so I can't really moan about that too much, but you want to keep single mid tiles in your hand if you can, for as long as you can possibly do it, because you're more likely to draw things around them, hence more likely to get more benefit out of them than just a single honor tiles.
G.
Debbie goes on the attack here, which seems like an interesting choice. However, I'm going to have to now shut this down because I imagine I've got another game. So here we are then. Close, close. Close, close. Okay. Well, this is a good hand. Potential 3-4-5 Sanchiku. 4-5-6 as well. Stump the west to start with. 1 Dora. Some room to develop. Tanyo Pintu low tiles. Oh, just got another west. Okay, Red Dragon follows Red Dragon. Okay, this is awesome at the moment. So I'd like to draw a 7 and 4 over the 1, but that is potentially giving us Tempai in a couple of turns. My discards look amazing. I mean, in fairness, Red Dragon was kind of out before that happened, but you know. 7 would have been a good draw for me. That's not a bad draw in all fairness. Let's get rid of a 9. So it means I've got pair run if I need it. So I can discard the 5. That if I draw a 5, it means I've secured the Tanyo. Not going to call that for the moment. Let's call that, because my optimal draw of a 7 now becomes a double run pair. And that's Tempai waiting on the 2-5. Okay. I guess it doesn't make too much difference at this stage. Yeah, I'd still also be in Tenpai if I just were to incidentally get this, but unless I have the 345 Sanchiku, that's probably not worth doing. Reach that way round, but we'll see. Paraphrase. I guess I got more outs this way, so let's go with it. And it also means I can discard the 2 and go for a 3-sided weight that way around. Or we can just get that. It's Pinfu,
Each.
Reach, Pinfu, Dora off the top. You only know when you're doing when you have the win at the end. Getting points early is not enough. Well, if you feel you know what you're doing, carry on. Had discarded a Dora on the second turn, which is a little annoying because I could have improved the value of the hand, but still. 2-5. 1-2 has been played. All the 5s are still available. 7 winners. Only problem, I guess, now is I can't get the Sanchiku, but yeah. First hand, as North, I don't particularly need it.
Chi.
Jess was being aggressive. Let's see if he's got the payoff. Hatsu. We also have the bonus of getting a possible red 5 and just taking this up to Mangan, but, you know. We'll take the Sumo, though. Self-drawn, 2-5. Reach, Sumo, Pinfu, Dora 1, 5200. And not a bad start. Okay, so we've got 6, 7, 8 twice, so we've got to look towards that as a Sanchiku in a moment. Also have Dora... No, actually, we don't have Dora Dragon. It's the opposite Dora Dragon. And one dragon already called by Jesper. So we'll just let him have that. He is dealer, of course, so he's allowed to be aggressive. It's his aggressive round. And we'll see what else we can manage. So I'm going to have to discard a pair of Wests here, effectively, but yeah.
Chi.
Okay, Jesper's on the quick attack plan. Not really too much I can do on this other than not play dot tiles. So we'll risk this one now because it's early, and in fact, it's just been proven safe. I mean, he could be on anything and be on a cheap Hatsu only, but the worst case for us right now is if he's on a half flush. That's a good draw. So I'm 1 from Tenpai at this point. For the draw of 7, that's the ideal, I think. Okay, Silent Tenpai. Waiting on the 8-5. 8-5-2, actually. We're on a 3-sided weight with this. We'll keep it silent, though. So we want him to push. Yeah, if you do, that's great. Go and do it. Go and do it.
Sumo.
Make sure I click the right one this time. We'll just sumo this. So it's another 5200 hand. Tiny Pinfu, Red Dora. And of course Sumo. So 2 big consistent wins. Knocks a couple of important people off dealer. And that was after his aggressive pushing as well. So it was a big enough hand. I didn't need to reach that. It probably would have been a bit risky too. Ultimately, the only reason I would say it probably didn't matter with her reach or not is that nobody actually dealt into it. But I doubt they would have done had I reached anyway. It was 3-sided, but we'll never know. It was big enough. Oh, god damn it. Draw the Hatsu immediately after. This is not a great hand by any stretch of the imagination, and I may even try shenanigans from here. Steam! Depends whose eyeballs you're talking about at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 left. My plan is not negeshing here, but I just want to see. I mean, we don't have a lot going for us anyway. We won from dealer, and at this stage, we have enough of a lead that we really just don't want to push it. So, okay, that's not a bad draw. And Vasmara has cooked his turkey. She's a really good looking hand at the moment. I mean, it's slow. It's not quite there yet, but do I just keep the Nageshi going? Yeah, why not? So that's 9 discards. I could keep going potentially, but I doubt that would necessarily help unless I just get entirely into Tanyo things, especially against a Reach now. Actually, maybe a Reach keeps me doing this. I don't know. If I draw a 6 dot right now, I've conveniently got myself into Tanyo from this. Okay, so I can self-draw a 6. I can't win if anybody else is discarded, I don't think, because I've got no Yaku, but...
Gong.
Discards Fedora, deals in. Oh, that is a huge hand. That's Mungan, or better, Hanneman. And that immediately puts him back on level footing. You gave him one. Ah, well, so that does a lot of my good work there. It also puts Cash in the danger zone, but because if he deals into my Mungan, I just take him out and we immediately end this game. But hello, D Gamer, how are we doing? Yeah, that was not what we wanted to see right there. We had a nice relaxing lead up until this point. Let's get rid of my close weight here on the 8. Arguably, I could have keep it, and because I've got a kind of chanterish looking hand, but I've got my dragon, so I'm going to try and rely on that a little bit, or possibly go for Reach. There we go. Get rid of the other 7, because if you've got rid of a 9, no point in keeping that. So, dragon. We have a dealer. We will, of course, grab a dragon. So, ideally, we need to call the 4, or just call either the 4 or the 9 and just get myself into tempo. Okay, Jesper also going for the quick attack here. He needs to knock me off a dealer turn, so he can't afford to be too passive against me. He's also got a decent gap down to the lower 2 positions, so he doesn't lose a lot by pushing at this stage. Okay. Let's keep getting rid of Manzu. We got rid of a lot of Manzu here, so if we can suddenly be on a stealth pair weight, then I'm quite happy to be there.
Chi.
Okay, Honitsu then. That's
Gong.
Down it. I knew that was a dodgy one, but it's not the biggest hand. It's not as big as I thought it was gonna be. Now, I was kind of calculated there, but since I'd been aggressive, I felt it was worth the push.
Each.
Interesting. So, Kesh starts with a double Reach. Fine, fine. Let's hope he didn't actually have a winner, because I've seen videos of people who've done that when they've actually had a completed hand without realizing by pressing the wrong button in panic that, wow, it's actually giving me the Tenho. So yeah, double reaching is always fun. So the only way to really defend against the double reach is to just play the game normally and hope. It's almost certainly going to be a 7 pairs on a bad weight, or it's going to be something stupid. Not always. Definitely not always. But play as safe as you can within it. This occasionally happens. You have to be aware of it. But almost certainly they're in some silly bad weight. This happens a lot, don't worry about this. What's happening is we're trying to race to complete hands which contain 4 triplets or runs 3-tile sequences and a pair. And Kriev, I'm going to mute you for that because somebody's actually genuinely asking. And we're nice to people who don't know the game here. Indeed. And Evi's going to continue on my explanation while I try and concentrate on the game. Okay, 1 free. We'll get rid of those because it's unlikely he needs them based on all of his low dot discards. Mind you, he reached initially, so goodness knows. Okay, we know the Hatsu's safe. Problem is, I'm not really developing towards a hand at the moment. Draw a 6-9, that gets me reasonably close there. So, okay. Get rid of this. I'm then going to be in a wait on something. If I can draw the 5 or the 8, ideally, that gives me the pin fu or all runs hand. So, we'll aim for that. By the way, we're looking at pin fu, possibly Peiko. 8 was a Suji, though that means nothing against the double reach. So what could he still be waiting on? He could still be waiting on that. Self-drawn. So that's a bit of a rampage. It's a cheap hand, but of course, against the double reach, we have to go cheap and try stuff, so that's fine. He's only 4,000 points ahead of me, so I've got plenty of... It wouldn't take much. Free hand, not even that if it's a direct hit. So let's get on with this. All the Norths. Okay, 9 doesn't help me much, but I've now picked up a 3rd pair. Which is a long way back to start fighting for 7 pairs or something, but it gives me toy options or bluffs. It is also my main opponent's dealer turn, so it's in my best interest to try and kick him off that as quickly as I can. And that's killing my toy ambitions. Or all triplet ambitions, anyway. I guess I've got an outside chance of stretching this into half flush on the dot tiles, but GG. Well, that one's over. White dragon for white dragon. We've proven that's safe. Yes, just for confusion's sake, there are multiple games going on at this stage, so they are talking about a different game rather than this one. The stream delay is not quite that bad. Okay, pair of reds. Okay, this is a hand we can attack with now. Toy reds is fine. That's going to be free hand, which is enough. if I incidentally draw into a few extra pairs...
Home.
then that's okay too. I also have my 9s as effectively safe tiles now. So I think I see all the 8s near enough. I see all the 7s pretty much as well. East, 1 played. Braised turkey steaks. Hatsu's live. We're going to then ignore that and play the 8 dot. So we're not really looking to win from this position. Potentially dodgy, but I see 1, and he has discarded a lot of Sozi tiles. Yeah, we're just going to have to play this safe and consistent for the moment. Forso is the deal in. He did have a couple of those, actually. So Green Dragon was a good thing to hold on to. We would have lost if we had got rid of that. And his lead extends to 8,000. He now needs... We now need a non-dealer Hanneman... non-dealer Mungan to overtake off of Kesh. And we might need to do that because Kesh is on the... Kesh is circling the drain right now. So either we need Kesh to win big here, or we need to win big enough that we can just take him out with us. In fact, a Mungan Sumo would be fine. More than that. Actually, we might even get away with less than that. Let's get rid of a 2. So what's my ideal at the moment? Get the 2 dots. Try and progress from there. Seven's a good draw. I see a west, so we'll get rid of our west. So we're now free from Pinfu. Well, 2 from Pinfu Tenpai, I mean. So that Pinfu Dora 1.
Kang.
Pinfu a lot more Dora than I was expecting to have. 1 from Tenpai. And that card might be just what the doctor ordered in a moment. Come on, ideal draw. 1. Can't take it. Come on, hit Tenpai now. We're 1 from Tenpai, and somebody has just done that for us. There are a lot of points available. No.
Each.
Okay, cash reaches. This could potentially be good for us, but could also potentially be disastrous for us here. So 1, 4, 5. That is dodgy. 5 so is very dodgy in this situation. JPC is not far behind me, so I can't afford to give too many points away to this. Okay, let's get rid of North. We own 3 of them, so that's probably a safe discard right now. And my best draw, in an odd sort of way, is to draw another 5 so, because then I can get rid of my Norths and try an alternate route in. Yeah, that can work. Okay. So get rid of all my Norths. Hope I draw something that pairs up something here. I don't have anything really safe to get rid of from the Manzu side of things, though. 9 safe. Shame it would be Nagashi, but of course I've discarded the 2 in the early stage, so no chance of getting that. Ideally, we want the dealer to deal into cash here.
Each. Gong.
It's not a bad secondary prize, and it means that cash is no longer at risk of being busted out by a random Mungan, so I can continue. Okay, 2 souths and a double south round with multiple pairs. Okay.
Home.
Yes, please. So this is a calling hand. This is very quick, potentially, if the right tiles start coming up. And if they don't, well, we got Toy Toy pretty much set up now, so... And double south means we can potentially call anything. And still have a hand. And could still potentially hit Mungan if we get the Tenpai, if we get the Toy Toy. Fortunately, discarding the 2 9s was not helpful. Okay, on 8 dots. Six is potentially helpful. Let's get rid of my close weight here. So I got more options around here. I'd even call for 7 though if I wanted to. So nice. Okay, 1 from Tenpai.
Home.
Tenpai. And it looks like it's a dot Honitsu as well. So this 4-man is now looking quite a good stealth weight. Only problem with it is it's cheap. Double south only, but I am dealer after this. I suppose if I draw a 3, I can slowly build my way into this hand. With the 7. Or do I switch to Toy Toy now? This is an important switch because if I make this, nah, we'll stick with our Tenpai. So 4-man, 8 dot.
Dong.
Direct hit. Only 2,000 points, admittingly, but it's a direct hit. Brings him to 4,000. I'm dealer at the last. 2 Han will do it. And I have a Dora. Alright, game on. So how can I quickly win this? I need to draw one of the dragons for the quick hand here, but I've already got 1 Dora. So I don't need much. Cull the dragon now? No, we kill the close weight off. 2-3-4 is 2-4-6 rather is a much better weighting pattern than just the 2-4, so we'll get rid of those, keep the dragons, hope to draw a pair of them. Failing that, of course, we'll discard them and see if we can't get ourselves to a pin through of some kind. We are dealer though, and it is the last hand, so we do need to hit Tenpai here. Also, if Jesper deals into a 4,000 point hand for any of the other 2, that's perfectly fine for us as well. We can certainly live with that. Yeah, we'll keep things going there for the moment. So pairs of dragons are looking a bit unlikely, but... Oh, red 5. Off the bat, there's 1 green dragon.
Home.
Okay, cash with white dragon. That's probably not the best of signs for us, especially as he discards a red door as well. So he's looking like a cheap hand, which is not where we want him to be. Okay, that's looking a little closer. Half a step. Red's
Come
also...
on.
Ah, darn you, sir. Bah. GG, sir. So there's the point system. Jasper picks up a load of points. I go 15. Still not won a game in a while, and I think I'm going to have to call that a night at that stage. I'm aware there's another game going on, so what I will do now is Debbie. Debbie. Thankfully, I think I've got this point score result now, so there we go. So now I have that result from previous game. I'll obviously need this one, which I think has already finished, but we'll just go on anyway. What else have we got then? So, yeah, where am I? So 4-4. So it went 3-3, 4-4, 2-2. So clearly next week is my time for 1-1. If somebody can post me the results of the missing game, Debbie, I think you were in this game. It was the one on the 23rd of June that was between yourself, Urza, Smody17, and Yong. JPB left me some messages. Aha! Thank you very much, sir. I will just post that into chat so I at least have a reference for it later when I'm looking through video. Hold on. Match 37, you say? Yeah, some -10. Very well then. I'm not going to argue at 10 more points. So that means I can actually put this in, and I can actually now put the tracker up to the proper position. So, as a 62, that's got a lot of high-scoring points that week. Smody -27, Yong -37. So then, ignoring the points for this week's games, we have the current standings as of match 47 now up to date. I'll have to re-record the actual games, but... Sort range by column F, then by column D, then by column E. So the table has now been updated without today's games currently in the thing. So currently, the top few look like this. Oop, bottom. Thank you for that. Well, I'm amazed you got that fast, because I was actually just in the process of making it, but still. Yeah, so we actually have the table out there, and apparently JPB agrees with it, so this is the current standings as they are right now. Obviously, win percentage has to be recalculated, because I have to actually add the wins on there. Jesper, your score is 123 currently, because of the way things work. So, obviously... it tracks week by week. If it goes to 0, it won't count anything below that, and anything else it'll just keep at. GV has been at 5 forever, looking at that, from that win. We'll have to see how other people have gone on through things. But anyway, I will call that a night. I will update the rest of the table later. I believe there's still a game in progress, though. So what I will do is during wrap-up, I will just let that game carry on. I assume it's just this one that's left, isn't it? 733, Kyril, Young, Kung Pao Deb, and Viking. Yes, it is. Okay, so I will say goodnight. I will let this play on. In fact, it almost seems to be ending, isn't it? Oh, no, it is there. Huzzah! You're in the wrong spreadsheet. Were you in the 2016 rankings for whatever reason? I mean, you had 48 points at the end of that, actually. 1 point, Viking. 1 point. But yeah, I have you currently 4th on 147 points currently. But this is obviously ignoring tonight's games where you'll go up a little bit because you beat me a couple of times. But hey, I picked up some positive points, so, you know, I'm keeping in the hunt. But honestly, I've had bad momentum over the last couple of weeks. Actually, let's just go back a bit here to the score tracker. Where have I been? So, Shadowhawk, I was looking before this run of bad forms. I was at 427 points at my peak. 427 points. So, I've really gone downhill since then. I think 47 is the highest anybody's had so far, based on things here. But I know Draconis had a great start, but I don't think he ever hit 400. No, so I've been in descending, but you know, in the 2017 table sheet, it's probably because I just sorted it out. So yeah, Jesper, you have 127 points. Sorry. 123 points. Draconis is 147. Same in the score track sheet. You just went up to 123. The last time you had 11 points would have been... Yeah, you had 11 points back 23rd of June, probably when I was last back to. So you just need to update it, I would guess. But anyway, I will add extra games onto there and we will see how it goes. It should be good at auto-saving, so... Right. Again, I will update things as and when. And also, if that is the end, I now have this result recorded as well, so I can add this onto the tracker a little later. So, thank you for joining me tonight, and I will see you all next time then. Which will, of course, be next week. Usual time, usual place, usual stuff and things. And yeah, that is the game that was going on. So, until then.